Welcome to another beautiful day on Oweleke TV. It is Monday, of course, and this is the time where we'll bring you to speed with the headlines for the day, reaching your life in the red from the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, Nigeria. My name is Ramsey Enoch, and of course, Sadatu and Michael will be joining me today for the newspaper review and the big story, which is going to be coming thereafter. They are looking very sharp and wonderful this morning, as usual, anyway.
Good morning, Mr. Ramsey.
Good morning,
Michael.
Outnumbered. Absolutely.
Okay, no problem. I take that.
Yeah, she's always taking it because for now you don't have an option. You don't have a choice. All right, let's take you to the headlines for today, beginning from the Vanguard newspaper, where the big story says, end blame game, halt bad policy. Labour Obi Lukman tells Tinubu. Details read on page 26. And I have some riders to that story. The first rider says, Labour alleges harassment, intimidation of members by government, says invasion of Labour House, deliberate attempt at provocation. That's coming from Labour. You know, Labour have been saying they need an apology from the federal government, okay, and whoever that was responsible for the invasion. But we've not been told why the invasion. More of the riders to the story condemn plans to frame up innocent citizens and attempt of change. All right, I take that again. Condemns plans to frame up innocent citizens on trumped up charges. And this one says a protest call for leadership action against growing poverty. This is coming from Peter Obi. Then the last one says a hunger protest. Enough ground to impeach Tinubu government. All right, governors, Tinubu and governors. This is coming from Lukman. You know, he's one of the people that have said this is more like a bad policy should be ended. It's looking like a game, of course, and that's what he's saying. And now he's saying, well, this hunger protest is something that is capable of impeachment of Tinubu and the governors. All right, well, that's the question. Can they impeach him?
Jagaban.
Is it possible? Jagaban.
Okay.
The only man who said, now it's my turn, it actually became his turn. Emiloko. Well, the policies so far, apart from the ones itching and the ones biting, I think some of the policies are actually not so bad. All right. But then let's see how the transformation is actually going to come. And finally, from here, from the Vanguard this morning, this one says 10 die in Abia truck accident. 25 missing in Sokoto boat mishap. All right, so that's going to be the size of the headlines. That's on a sad note anyway. But then we pray that the soul of the faithful departed rest in perfect peace. And that's the size of the headlines from the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Sada to take us to the next paper. Which of the papers do we have?
The Punch newspaper. All right, good morning. Thank you. Let's take a look at the Punch newspaper and all the headlines that come with it. The first story says, hunger protest. Police begin trial of 1,135 detained demonstrators. Detail read on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. And then the next headline says, ICPC arrests top narco officials over 90 billion naira Hajj subsidy. Detail read on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. And then the big story says, Dangote Petrol marketers wait as delivery date extend again. I take that again. Dangote Petrol marketers wait as delivery date extended again. Detail read on page 31 of the Punch newspaper. And then there's one rider to that story that says refinery need 15 cargoes for September. Only 6 cargo supplies so far. I think that's all we have for the headlines on the Punch newspaper. Over to you, Michael.
Thank you, Siddhartha. We'll move straight to the Nation newspaper today. Dogara berates Bauchi governor over attack on Tinubu. One writer to the story says President saved Bala Mohammed from losing office. Away from that, a big story on the Nation newspaper today. Residents shun million-man march in Lagos, Abuja, Kano, Kaduna, Rivers, and others. 3 riders to the story. Kaduna government vows to deal with criminals pretending to be protesters. Kano holds special prayer for nation. Plateau youth present charter of demands to governor. I like that prayer session held by Kano for our nation, because we need prayers. Actually,
we need prayers. You know, people have been praying, and one of the things that have actually kept this country is prayers, and just God. Yeah, just God. If not left for men, it would have been something else. Especially the politicians. That's it.
Away from that story, federal government terminates Dangote and Sawa's contract on Kano Maiduguri Road. Of course, troops swoop on oil thieves in Niger Delta. One writer to the story. Clamp down on 13 illegal refineries. The last story I will take on the Nation newspaper today is has a kicker as rubble after the storm. How protesters' frantic fury drowned in chaos. That's a picture story on the Nation. Do well to pick a copy and enjoy. Back to you, Ramsey.
All right, thank you very much, Michael, for those headlines. Let's quickly get to the Guardian newspaper this morning. The big story is where I'm starting from. It has to do with electricity, where it says electricity tariff may spike over weak fiscal position. 2.1 trillion naira subsidy. All right. Details read on page 6. There are some riders to that story. Concern as NEC removes federal government from commercial model and forces bilateral market. Illiquidity wasn't 4 years after CBN set up escrow account. I take that again. That's the second rider to the story. Illiquidity wasn't 4 years after CBN set up escrow account. Then the last rider says a power plant may shut down as poor remittance threaten 6,000 megawatts target. Let's see, MW, that's megawatt. That's the big story. Then moving away from there, we still have other stories. Then this one says the National Assembly pushes back on Page Thomas Obi orders. Flake cost of governance. Details read on page 6. How Tinubu hurriedly terminated CBN's special investigation. Then the last one that I will be taking says Edo Refinery decries NNPCL's failure to supply crude. Meaning it's not just Dangote Refinery. Well, I don't want to talk much about this. Let's go on a quick break. When we return from this break, we need to talk about this. What do you think? Yeah. I think this is very important because as it is right now, it's like Nigerians are feeling like they are being taken for a ride because we don't really know what's happening. No, I'm not going to talk much. Let's go on a quick break. When we return, we'll talk about the fact that Dangote Refinery has not gotten crude up till now. There was a date fixed, and now it has been postponed. It has been shifted again. After the break, we'll talk more about that.
Follow us on our social media handles at Oweleke TV. Visit our website at www.oweleketv for a thrilling journey. Oweleke TV, rising star at the fairground.
Marketers wait again as a supply date is being extended. Talking about the Dangote Refinery. It's good to have you back from that break. We said on return we're going to talk about the issue in this country. I think we're just saying behind closed doors before we came up on air that some persons are even tired. Imagine what happened from the Olympic that Nigeria, after spending billions of naira, nothing came out of there. And we're like trying to liken it to what is happening right now to the Dangote refinery. And it is not far from the deep corruption in the society. The level of decadence is escalating by the day. And now, marketers are not finding it funny anymore because the date is being extended again. You know, I said something. How many weeks were we given? They said in weeks, Port Harcourt Refinery was going to start working. And I said something on this platform. I said, well, Nigerians are even tired of hearing next month, next week. You know,
I think they started from June, right? They said June.
They even started from January. Immediately they came into office. That was the first thing they said.
They promised that by June they were going to start production fully.
And which month are we?
We had July, now August, and now August we are hearing another story.
In weeks. And the most pathetic aspect of it is the fact that one man has risen to build a refinery that the country couldn't build in years. And this is amounted to billions of dollars. And right now, the problem is that we don't have crude anymore. The same crude that we're being made to understand that it's been exported.
We have crude, but they are not supplying it according to the promise they made.
If the crude is there, why is it not supplied?
The crude is there. Maybe there's something going on that nobody is coming out.
I thought we don't have crude anymore.
What's it called? This subsidy removal, a lot of things has been happening, and there are some person we know that would not want some things to move forward, because it's just like you're eating from somewhere and there's someone who just come and take it away from you and say, okay, let me give it to Mr. Michael. You don't want Mr. Michael to eat it all now.
But the question I'm asking is, why are these people so selfish? Because this is to the detriment of Nigerians and not an individual. If food is being taken from someone's mouth, okay, and it's been given to the public. Okay. All right. In this instance, it's not even an individual anymore, because we're talking about a nation, and this food is being put in the mouth of nations. Are you not supposed to be happy? But then reverse is becoming the case. The marketers are crying; they are weeping right now because businesses are going down.
Exactly.
The queue has not fully disappeared from.
It's even intensifying.
It's intensifying. It's increasing by the day. For how long are we going to continue like this? Because as it is right now, these refineries, we are waiting for it to work. But the extension of the date and Dangote Refinery, and then in one of the papers, we also had that Edo State is also worried. They need to refine. They need crude too, and they don't have. If you can't give to Dangote, why not give to at least a refinery that is ready to refine, since they have the license?
I think the NUPCR promised 29 million barrels to Dangote, and then surprisingly, they are still waiting for that, because how would you tell us that 29 million barrels were allocated on paper? And then we saw how they didn't get to the refinery. Yet the NUPCR came out on Friday and told Nigeria that Dangote has gotten it. Now, interestingly, there's something the former President Obasanjo says. There's a lot of politics in oil and gas. Olusegun Obasanjo said that categorically. It was re-emphasized.
His Excellency, the former president of this nation.
A lot of politics in oil and gas. And then someone had to re-echo that anonymously and say, hey, this is what Obasanjo said at this time. A lot of politics in oil and gas. And then this oil moguls, the same thing he said, are frustrating Dangote from starting. Now, if you tell us, because they are gaining from oil importation, when you have a crude here that you export to the foreign countries, and then they refine it there and import. They make so much money from that. So they have tried to just sabotage that particular thing, and it's killing Nigerians. That's what Obasanjo said. I mean, how can you just fringe on one man's effort? He spent about $19 billion. That's just what he told us.
We're talking about billion.
Personal interest is working in this.
Absolutely.
But the personal interest, why are they not even mindful of the people?
How can NUPCR come on paper to tell Nigerians that we've supplied, and Dangote is saying, okay, you promised me 19 cargoes and you gave me 6. What will I do with 6? 6 is not going to.
Well, he can use that to produce something.
No,
at least.
And now he's saying that at the price that I was given, I'm even going to make more when I export this crude. I'm going to make more money, because if I sell it to Nigerians at the dollar rate which I bought it, they can't afford it.
Okay, he got the crude from outside.
No,
he's saying he got 6 cargoes instead of 19 cargoes. He's saying, okay, even this one you gave me, if I try to use it now, I'll sell it more than the current fuel pump price, because the price at which I got it is more exorbitant. So I prefer to take it abroad, refine and sell to them, make more gain, because Nigerians are not ready.
But he can refine it. He can refine it. No, why take it abroad to refine?
He needs 19 cargoes to effectively distribute oil. He's saying, I don't want to start rolling up PMS this month and stop next month. Is that what Nigerians want? I want it to be consistent. So I need 29 cargoes. And any person that came out to tell us, we're giving Dangote 29 cargoes.
It's like these people are interested in this epileptic supply of PMS. Today you have, tomorrow you don't have.
Yeah,
tomorrow there is queue. Next tomorrow no queue.
This
Why are they excited about that? Same people suffer.
I'm feeling like when there is a hike, when there's scarcity, they make more money than when it's available.
Sure.
So
Do you know they even create? There's a way they create. Money. They create artificial scarcity. Okay, because they are an association. They can just. That's why sometimes you hear that. Yes, you hear that. This filling station has fuel. This one don't have. You even go.
See a black market filled up in front of a filling station selling fuel, and that filling station
does not have fuel. Where did they get it from? So many things.
You can imagine Dangote workers telling correspondents in anonymity that it's supposed to start in this August, but because of the price at which we're getting it, it may not be distributed locally. That means Dangote will start supplying international oil companies
to make his money back.
Of course, that's what it is.
All right. Well, this is so pathetic, Nigerians. This is where we find ourselves in a time like this, despite the protest that just happened. These things are still happening, and these are the things that add to the pain and suffering of the people. What do we have to do? I don't know. But then the question is the president doing anything about this situation? Who is supposed to hold the people, all right, the mafias, in quote, responsible to loosen up and supply crude to Dangote Refinery? And who are those getting? Who are these mafias? Who are those getting? But the funny aspect of the whole thing is the fact that international organizations, other countries are even interested in this Dangote Refinery, but Nigeria don't know. The Nigerian government don't even know that. So if anything happens now and this refinery has been taken over, it's going to be something else. Well, thank you, Sadatu and Michael. Thank you.
I have one statement I want to make. When you see the elderly ones dancing in front of the crowd, like trying to struggle, dancing anyhow, there's a problem at home.
There's a problem at home.
There's a problem at home. So for
meaning
me, I'm feeling
there is a drum
at the back.
There's a drum beat at home.
Yes.
That only the person dancing can hear.
Yes.
That's the proverb for the day coming from King Sir. All right, this is going to be the size of the headlines. And the big story for today will come on your way again, and that's going to be tomorrow. Same time, same station. Have a beautiful day, and make sure you stay out of trouble. Bye-bye for now.